Okay, Friday, January 6th, 2023. Our baby is coming. I just am walking home from the hospital. I got to get my charger and pick up some food for my wife. And yeah, it's, I don't think it's hit yet. I don't think the reality has hit yet that a baby is coming and there's a third permanent person in my life. Family member, immediate family member, myself, my wife, and I, or I had that all backwards. Yeah, a little bit egoistic, but I think you get the point. My head is spinning right now and everything, and yeah, so just going home. Now the hospitals here in Ukraine, everything is free, but you can pay a little extra and get your own room and all of this. Otherwise they put you in a common room with other people. So it's like an airline. They have economy, business class, first class type of deal going on here. So yeah, what an experience this is going to be. It's many years in the making. Now, what have I been doing? I've been listening to Winston Churchill, of all things. It's he gives me good motivation. We need another Churchill in this day and age in Ukraine. We have Zelensky, but we need a Churchill on the in the NATO somewhere who can rally the nations and beat back the Russians. And we have to. I think we have to finish them off. It's not enough to just hold the line, but for now, maybe we hold the line and then we build up. Everyone is saying the Russians will build up in a pause, but so can Ukraine and NATO, and we can do it better. We're Americans, British, Germans, the industrial might of those three countries, and then you throw in the French and the Austrians and the Swiss, and Norway and Sweden. Sweden is like 8 million people, but there's a factory on every corner. It's an industrial powerhouse. In Finland too. Finland is made up of thousands of engineering companies, all making some specialized items. Imagine all that stuff being put towards military. The might and will of 300 million Americans, 500 million European Union EEA citizens against 150 million Russians. Believe me, even their quasi, those countries on their border, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, even they will even they haven't been helping the Russians. They know better. But once we have a Churchill pull all of that together, and have that all the cylinders firing, firing on eight, or I forgot that expression, firing in unison. That should just be an unstoppable force. And that's what all this propaganda is meant to do, is to break up this unity and break up this power. But with the birth of my daughter, I hope comes in a new era. I really hope this right wing in America understands what they're so confused, so lost. They want to break everything instead of fix everything through the existing mechanisms. They just have to, they have to see the bigger picture. We cannot, as a nation, isolate ourselves from global events and the global happenings. It just doesn't work that way. It's chaos theory. Once something happens, you can't go back. Things just keep getting more complicated as times pass. And now it's a global world, and America has to be part of that, because if we cut ourselves off, eventually we will wither away and die. We'll be divided up and then conquered, just like India, with the British. There were a whole bunch of kingdoms. That's what happens when you have libertarianism. And they were all warring with each other. The British took one side against another side. Now, in the end, this was all good for India. They got the English language, they got infrastructure, they got institutions, and this time it's not the British doing the unification. We don't want to be unified by the Mexicans or the Russians or, the Chinese. They have a different ideology than like the Northern Europeans, the British, or the Americans. So yeah, it's just my great hope. My great hope.